Hey, my name is Mark Heilshorn. I am happy to be with you today. I am a theologian and a pastor, and it's been a while since I've been here. Not your fault, but largely mine. But I've been doing a lot of preparation work and thinking about my own soul and my own self, and that takes me a little while to ponder all these things. So bear with me, as it were, because I know some of you have been missing my posts, and I'm going to get back into it here. But I wanted to talk about a subject today called self-worth. Self-worth. And it's something that I've been discovering and discussing and thinking through and pondering in my 50 some odd years of life. I think that many of us go through periods of time where we wonder, what is our self-worth? What have we done with our lives? What are we good at? What's valuable about who we are? And basically asking the big question, who are we? Who are we? And I love that question. It scares the crap out of me, but I also love it because it asks me to think a little bit broadly about my role and what I'm doing here. And I was actually reading some scripture from our Christian text that talks about the tendencies of our human condition. And I just want to read to you this one paragraph, because it basically says that men, mostly speaking to men in this, but you have to take into context that he's speaking to really men and women. At least that's the way I want to interpret it. For they will be lovers of self, lovers of money, proud, arrogant, abusive, disobedient to their parents, ungrateful, unholy, inhuman, implacable, slanderers, profligates, fierce haters of good, treacherous, reckless, swollen with conceit, lovers of pleasure rather than lovers of God. Keep that in mind. Holding the form of religion, but denying the power of it. I love those last. I don't love it, but I think the intention there of those last couple of sentences are pretty powerful. To be lovers. To be lovers to be lovers of pleasure rather than lovers of God, putting all of those external things that give us worth and value and joy, instead of looking deeply at ourselves, and in other words, looking at things to give us power, looking at things to give us worth and attention and value, instead of what's going on inside of us, instead of the fact that we ourselves are valuable, despite the cars that we may have, the houses we may build, the lives we may lead, the businesses we may have, or the money that we throw around. If those are the things that define us, and we are measured by those things, then we're really not paying much attention to what God has created us to be. So that's a big part of discovering this concept of self-worth. Who are we? What's valuable? And, in these COVID times, in this politically charged world that we live in this ecologically disastrous world where we sometimes feel like we're all going to be burned to a crisp in a moment's notice. And, how can we as little people make change possible so that we can alter, or at least turn back, some of the problems that we're seeing ecologically across the world? Where is our self-worth in all of this? And those things that I just mentioned come out of Timothy, the 3rd chapter of Timothy, who was one of Paul's disciples that believed that Jesus was at least one of the many prophets that spoke to what it means to be human, and what it means to be righteous, and what it means to be a believer, and what it means to have self-worth as we believe in something way bigger than ourselves, like the God among us. So these were really I thought, interesting words, because it kind of defines in a lot of ways what we see in a very licentious society, the things that go bad, the things that go wrong, the things that we like to complain about. But at the same time, there is such an opportunity to give ourselves better affirmations, right? Some of the things that we see, some of the things that we complain about, some of even the feelings that we have about ourselves, and the fact that we're not the kinds of people that we always feel that we could be, are opportunities to really think outside the box and switch it around, change our story, go inside, find the feelings within, reveal. There's a word I love to use: reveal the inner child within ourselves. An inner child is really just another word, another phrase that describes what's going on with our emotions, what's going on with our feelings underneath, the volcano that may be spewing out of us, or our inability to communicate, or the anger, or the pestilence, or the resentments, or the bitterness, or even the joys and the lightness that we might feel. That's guiding our behavior and guiding our feeling and guiding our energy. Oh my God, there's so much energy hidden in in human beings, and if we could only kind of tap the surface and unveil it, and get people to really talk about what makes them vulnerable, what a different world it would be. And I happen to believe that that's the way to go. I believe the church, in and of itself, and all belief systems, are asking us to be vulnerable, to open ourselves up, to care and to share, and to shed all these masks that we wear about what's going on in our lives and how we feel. Because at the end of the day, that's who we are. That's our self-worth. That's opening ourselves up. That's actually allowing us to talk about the things that maybe we don't like, so that we can talk about the things that we are, instead of ducking and jiving and hiding. It's kind of like you got to rip off the Band-Aid in order for the wound to heal, right? And we all have wounds. I just listed a whole bunch of wounds that we have and this would, the Bible was written 3,000 years ago. I mean, come on, folks. Hey, this stuff has always been here and it will always be there. And it's our opportunity to come up, maybe some affirmations to kind of get past this. And so self-worth revolves around how we think of ourselves right now and what we're able to do and what we're willing to do in order to heal, right? In order to heal. So I've come up with some affirmations that I think might be helpful for at least some of you, because the way we wake up in the morning is really a blueprint of how we live, right? So how about this one? Especially against the pandemic and the political craze that's going on now, and all the showering of negativity that we live with. How about this? I am worthy. I am worthy. I am inherently worthy. I'm valuable. I'm valuable. I bring value to the world with my love, with my sense of grace, with how I treat people, with my smile, with my dignity, with my empathy, with my compassion. I am valuable. So I am worthy. I am valuable. And you know what? I'm going to stop there, because there's lots more we could go into, but it's already been 8 minutes and I think I've already taken some of your time. So let's get into a meditation right now that allows us to feel worthy and to feel valuable. So what I want you to do is picture a door, a nice door. Maybe it's an old oak door with slats in it, and it's hardy. It's like it's like 2 inches thick. And on the outside of the door are these incredible hinges. These triangular hinges that come across the top and the middle and the bottom, and they're massive, because the door is big. It's maybe 4 feet by 8 feet long, and it's like a giant's door, right? And the handle is made out of cast iron, and it's kind of muscular, and it's got a big clunker. I call it a clunker. You think you push down to open up the latch on the inside, and it creaks. And when you open it, it just starts to creak, and it's heavy. It's not like something you can just quickly open and quickly close. You really have to put some pull some weight off of it and put some weight into it. And inside that doorway is peace. Peaceful place. Your peaceful place. Maybe it's full of greens. Maybe it's a world where it's nothing but blue sky and clouds. Maybe it's a jungle. Maybe it's a mountain. Maybe it's a stream where you've always fished as a child. Maybe it's a rainbow overlooking a valley through a couple of mountain passes. But it's a place where it's a place that allows you to feel valuable. It's a place that allows you to feel worthy. And in that place you step into, and the door closes behind you, that great big massive door that was just so inviting and so beautiful and so actually easy to open. You open it, you went through, you're in your safe place, and nothing can bother you. Nothing. Not the day, not the world, not your car, not the traffic, not people that have been asking you to do crazy things all day long, not your restless parents or your siblings. Nothing here bothers you. You feel peace, and you feel warm, and you feel cozy. And as you keep walking into that world, you feel mist. The mist that just soothes and comforts you. And it's a mist that doesn't make you wet. It's just something that allows you to know that you're embraced. You're embraced by warmth. You're embraced by comfort. You're embraced by peace. You're embraced by calm. And it's just a stunningly beautiful, visually beautiful place. But you also hear all the things that have always given you a sense of quiet. You hear birds. You feel and hear the rhythms of a forest. And you're aware that in this place of warmth and quiet and comfort and sounds, you can just let it all go. Just let it all go. Find strength. Find yourself. Find your own quiet. Find your own sense of value, your own sense of worth, your own sense of peace, because nobody else can really define that for you. You're the only one that can do that. So you find that place. And in that place, there are children. There are children playing, chasing each other, laughing. And you feel the laughter inside of you start to swell, and you just want to become that little child that you once were, and you want to run around and play tag and hide and go seek, and you just want to be comfortable with how you feel. Nobody's watching. Nobody's condemning you. Nobody's criticizing you. You're just enjoying that moment. Yeah, that's a good place. It's a good place because you can be free there and know that everything that surrounds you is there for you, to protect you and to help you become the person that you wanted to be. So stay there for a minute and recognize that all around you, you're finally in a place where you just let your boundaries go, let your walls come down. And it suddenly occurs to you that this is what it's like to be with God. This is what it's like to be safe. This is what it's like to be loved. This is what it's like to be adored. This is what it's like to be divine. Divine. So take a deep breath and just repeat after me. I am inherently worthy. 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 I am valuable. I am special. I am valuable. I hold value. I am value. I feel value. I bring value. Take a deep breath. 4 in, 8 out. Four in, 8 out. As you breathe in, say, I'm valuable. As you breathe out, say, I'm worthy. 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 Affirmations like this do two things. One, they remind us, get us out of our headspace that maybe all day long we've not felt that way. And number two, it calms us down. We breathe, which we're very apt to not do because we run around looking at the world and gasping for breath. This allows us to have self-worth. It allows us to live self-worth. It allows us to believe in our self-worth. And it allows us to know that we are not alone and that God is there watching over us, helping us to develop self-worth. So blessings to you. And I look forward to seeing you all again. I'll be back. And let's keep up with any questions that you may have. Please send me your comments, and we'll look forward to responding to them. Take care.